afternoon, everybody. How is everybody doing in YouTube land today? I'm Brian Dickey, also known as Beanie Crafts and More here on YouTube and across the socials. And today I'm coming on to do a live stream with y'all on Scrappiness YouTube channel. And we'll different card sizes. And this is going to be like a really basic beginner's course here. So when you come in, please do introduce yourself, like the video. If you haven't subscribed yet to Katscrappiness channel, please do subscribe, ring the bell for all notifications, and just let me know who you are, where you're from. And if you have any questions along the way, please do ask. I'll be moderating today, as I have not found a moderator yet for these lives, but I will soon. And when I start having a moderator, I will announce who they are during the live. And let's see, we got 2 people in the house. I think one of them's me because I'm watching on my tablet. Hope y'all are having a great day. Please let me know how y'all are doing. Okay, so I just want to wait just a minute until we get a few people in here so we can start going over everything. But if you have, let them know that we're live, and we'll start in just a minute. So I think actually I'm going to start now. As you know, as people come in, you always have to replay to watch. And of course, with the replay, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below this video. At the bottom, in the description box of this video, after the video is over, the live, and I'll be posting them in the live stream as well during the live while I'm using them. So that'll be later on in live, though. But enough with that. Let's try to figure out what we're going to do here. So, anybody in chat, please let me know. Let me know where you're from, who you are. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and start, just like it's a pre-recorded video or something. But today, like I said, we're talking about bare basics here. Excuse me. One of the first things we learn about when we're starting card making is our card sizes. So I have found a website that will help you with this very easily. And I'll show it to you. In fact, the link is pinned in the description box. I mean, in the chat. So that white at top of the chat box, that is your link to cardcalc.app. It's a card calculator. I'll show it to y'all real quick. Hey, how are you? Hope you're doing well. I'm going to turn off the chat for just a minute. So if I don't say anything to y'all in the chat for a minute, it's not me and I'm ignoring you. It's just I don't have chat on at the moment. So I'm going to get out of this for a moment. We are going to... Actually, I'm going to have to keep this on here, apparently. No, I don't. I'll X that out. So I'm going to show you this cool website, cardcalc.app. As you can see right now, I have this currently on A2. When A2 size measures 4 1/4 inches wide by 5.5 inches tall. And there are two ways you can do this. You can turn it one way, with with folding on the left, so like this. The fold's at the top. So there are many different sizes here. For an A2, I'm going to go layers here. So let's see here. Okay, we don't need to do that. Oh, didn't do that. We'll go back to basics. So what we typically do for a card base, like an A2 card base, is we're going to go ahead and cut it 1/4 inch smaller than the card front. And you have your 4 1/4 inch wide by 5.5 inch tall. So our first layer is going to be called the mat. And that will be 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, because we're going to go smaller each time in 1/4 inch increments. So after the mat, we're going to call that a layer, and that'll turn out to be 3 3/4 inches wide by 4 3/4 inches tall. So each time you want to put another layer on, you're going to go 1/4 inch smaller both ways until you're done putting layers on. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate real quick. I'm going to do 2 different card sizes today, I think. Or maybe 3. We'll get this out of the way. To bring up a scoreboard. So to get an A2 card, to achieve one of those, we are going to go ahead and we're going to cut this piece of cardstock. It's 8.5 inches wide by 11 inches tall in half vertically. So we're going to have 2 of 8.5 by 11. So what we're going to do here is cut on the 11-inch side, which is the long side. Put your paper, edge of paper at this 5.5 inch mark here, if you can see. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and lay on down bases for an A2. So next we're going to go ahead and grab our scoreboard, which is another essential tool for card making. And we're going to go ahead and score on the long side, which now will be the 8.5 inch side. And we'll score at 4 1/4 inches, which is right here. In half, and while you have a A2 card. So I'll go over some more basic card sizes. Next one we're going to go after is what's called an A7. And the A stands for announcement. These cards here are under what's called the series. Smaller form, as A7 being a larger form. It goes anywhere from A2 or A1 to A10. We're not going to go into all those today. So with an A7, we're going to go ahead. That will be 5 by 7, of course. So we're going to go ahead now and cut on the short side, which is 8.5 inches, at 7 inches. You can do either way, or you cut at 1.5 inches. Either way, you're going to get 7 inches. I'm going to turn a quarter turn now. I'm going to go to the 10 inch. Then the other end will be about per se. You can just go put on the 1 inch line. It'll turn out to be 10 inches still. Scoreboard, long side, wide side, which is 10 inches. Go ahead, fold in half, and you have yourself an A7 card. So I think I'm going to write these down actually on here. A2, A7. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make an A9 card, which is even simpler than those other two, because that's 5.5 by 8.5. So here we go. Got your 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. We're not even going to cut it if it's 8.5 by 11. Because all you got to do here, take your scoring tool, score right down the middle, 5.5 inches. Fold, and you have yourself your A9 card. So now we're going to go, let's see. I'm not really sure what a 5 by 6.5 inch card is called, but that is typical. Like in some stationery sets, you can get what's called, which really just 5 inch wide by 6.5 inch tall. And I should have brought one of those. I'm not sure what that's called actually, but that is another form of card. I think we're going to do an A4 next. An A4 is not like the UK version. So if you've ever heard of A4, you probably heard that in the form of a paper size, which is, I believe, 8.25 by 11.75 or something like that. That's what they mainly use in the UK. But in America, an A4 card measures 4.5 inches wide by 6 inches tall. So I'm going to go ahead and so we're going to want to go 8 inches on the on here on the wide side, 11 inches. Going to cut that down to 8 inches. Or honestly, you can do either way. We're going to do both ways actually. We're going to cut this down 6 inches first. So we're going to go ahead and, yeah, this is going to be the way to do it because 4.25 times 2 equals 8.5. And we need 4.5 by 6. So we're going to go ahead and we cut that 6. And then we're going to go ahead and go to the 9 inch mark over here. and cut. Thank you. Yes, this is a very great resource. That's why Cat and I decided to do this, is because some people are crafting and they get easily discouraged by all the charging and everything. Here, but also explain lots of people do not do. They just expect you to know it. So that's why I'm trying to find the terminology. Is 9 inches. Now score that at 4.5 inches. And fold in half. And we have an A6 card. Now I'm going to write the sizes of the folded cards on all these too. So, what is everybody doing today? Is everybody? Sure, most of y'all are at work, unfortunately. Did I just write that down right? No. No, I did not. This is actually an A4 reason. That was an A4. I don't even see an A5 in here, so. So those are really the most common card sizes that are not slimline here in the US. So next we're going to go ahead and forms of slimline cards. So I'm going to come back to Card Calc app for that. I won't be showing it to y'all, but I'll be looking at it. So let's see here. So we're going to take another piece here. It's going to be a regular old slimline. And again, if I don't see your comment, don't answer it. I'm not ignoring y'all. I just don't have a chat on at the moment. So we are going to take this 8.5. We're going to leave 8.5 and cut at 7 inches. Because we want this card at the end be 8.5 wide by 3.5 tall with the top fold base. So we're going to cut down 7 inches. Or if I want these arms, you can just do it 4 inches. I'll go ahead and score at 3.5 inches. Just a regular old slimline. Next, we're going to go into our mini slimline. And that's going to be 3.5 by 6 inches when folded. So we're going to make one of those as well. So we're just going to go ahead and cut, let's see. Going to cut at 6 inches on the 8.5 inch side. So on short end, we're cutting at 6 inches. Flip it a quarter turn. And we're going to cut it 7 inches. Let's make sure I cut that well enough, and I did. Okay. Okay, so we're going to have this on the 6 inch side, which is short end. We'll go ahead and, no, we're going to have it 7.5 inch side, sorry. And we're going to score at 3 inches. And this is what we call a mini slim line. And finally, we're going to go with it. We might do a big slim line. Let's see how big that is. Okay, not bad, I think. Yeah. So this one's going to be 4 inches wide by 9 inches tall. If you have a side fold. So we're going to go ahead and make one of these. So we're going to cut, let's see, at 8 inches. So we're only cutting 1/2 inch off. We're going to cut it at 9 inches. There we go. We're going to take this on the 8 inch side, which is short end, and sort it forward. So we're now going to go ahead and I'm going to close out that. Hey, Shanna, how are you? How's everybody doing? Okay, so I'm going to lay this big slim line. Find my marker. So now we're going to go ahead and start doing a little bit, having a little bit of fun. I'm going to make a card using some of these sizes here of card. So first off, I want to start out with an A2, because that is the most common used size, technically, for us card makers. So I'm going to go ahead. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get just something, some kind of cardstock here. Something I might not want much of. We're going to use this hot pink. I don't really like the color much. So we're going to go ahead Remember, an A2 is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. No, 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. So we're going to go ahead and cut this piece down to 4 inches. I'm using a 12 by 12 just for illustration because I only brought 12 by 12 colored cardstock as opposed to 8 1/2 by 11, 4 inches. That'll be the width. And the length or height actually will be 5 1/4 inches. I'll show you how easy that is. See, you're going to have an 1/8 of an inch border around all 4 sides. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this on. We'll make the card out of this when we're done doing matting and layering. Some of these papers we're going to use katscrappiness 6x6 cardstock, but not all of them because some of them will require larger than 6x6 mat and layer. So I got my barely art glue, which you can find at katscrappiness.com, of course. So I look just today. Look for a refill. They got the bottle starter pack and the refills. Really need pins for this glue. They got, I think you might even have rubber stoppers there too. There you go. And we got these tops as well, I believe there as well. Not cooperating. I'm running low, of course. But typically, barely our glue will come out very nicely. It's just I don't have much left. I have to try this again. I do apologize, y'all. This is not supposed to be happening. Hey, Jana, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Okay. I'm not going to make an actual card today now. Because here we go. That's a mat there. The first layer. I think next one we're going to try and think. Actually, I tell you what, we're going to do another layer on this one first. So, like I said earlier, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. If you've done so yet, 5 ring the bell is greatly appreciated. So I'm going to take the birthday Waka 6x6 pad here. That's what I'm going to be using right now for this mat. This layer. So I'm going to pop in the link in the description, in the chat. This is the cardstock here. And of course, with any extra, but I may earn a small commission. In the craft world, that's a win-win. Helps out the person buying the product and person that receives as well. I guess that's what I should say. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this down. 5 3/4 inches on the width. And turn quarter turn. And 5 inches for the height. Now try to be done with this by 3 o'clock. So try not to let me go over too bad. You're misspelling Jana's name, aren't you, Shanna? I saw that. It's okay, though. It's cool. Fun fact. Most people still saw my name Brain. They always did that at school. Even smartest kids did that all the time. And even as adults, most people do that still. I don't know why. But most people spell my name B-R-A-I-N. When it's clearly B-R-I-A-N. Yeah. I just went. So here is a completed mat layer for a 2-size card. And let me know if you have any questions or if I'm not clear enough on something. I can definitely try to clear that up for you. What I'm going to do for matting line, we're going to do an A4 because it's there. It's next number up from what we did, I think. So we're going to take this piece of hot paint. I'm going to go ahead and take it to 1/4 inches. Because this is 4.5 by 6 inches card base. So we're going to want to take 1/4 inch off of that number. So we're going to go ahead and do this. 4.25 by 5 3/4. Tell you what, chat is very quiet today for some reason. I wonder why. Maybe I didn't promote this live well enough. Who knows? Because I don't have enough. Try put a little more on there. Maybe not. It won't come up now. So this one, we are going to go ahead and cut the layer, second layer, down to 4 inches wide. Because remember, the last piece we cut was 4 inches wide, 5.5 inches tall. Yeah, 5.5, 5. I literally said 5.5, and it was on 5. Oh, yeah, I can zoom out some. Won't be able to see that well. I actually gotta pull the mount up some, actually. Sorry, I just saw that. Hadn't been paying attention, I guess. So we cut that 5 1/2. There's the card there. Now you can see some of my mess. Some of my mess. And there we go. We have an A6 card completed. Or is that an A4? That was an A4, y'all. I didn't even make an A6 today. So let's see. The other two, A7, A9. I guess I could just make an A7 next. Just not use the Quad cardstock. This is only 6x6. So we're going to go ahead. This is 5x7, the card base. So we're going to go ahead and cut this one down 4 3/4. By 6 3/4. Got to bring the arm out for that. I love that paper jam. I love it so much. I promise you, it is all. Got that. So, y'all, in us next week in episode 2, I'm honestly thinking card making tools. I'll show some tips and tricks on the basic tools and how to use them. So what I was thinking. So I'm going to go ahead and get another piece here if I have one. It's right here. I'll cut this down to 4 1/2. By 6 1/2. And 6 1/2 is about right there. Let me think. So I'm gonna, the birthday quaco was too small for this card, so I'm gonna go ahead. So I was gonna try to do a full project today. Showing how to decorate one of those cards, but I don't think I'm gonna have time, unfortunately, because I'm gonna try to be out here by 3 o'clock. Here we go. There, blue on. Card A7. If I can find it. There we go. The 8.9 is half of a 8.5 by 11, so then I'm making 5.5 by an 8.5. So we're going to cut this one 5.25 inches, the first layer, by 8.25 inches. And that'll go on there. Start going this down. Are we going to get any more glue out? Let's see here. Here we go. This is the mat for the A9. I'll cut another piece for the layer. If I have one, which I don't. I'm not going to start another piece here. So basically, this mat was for 5.5 by 8.5. It was 5.25 by 8.25. And now we're going to cut the second one, if we put it on there, to 5 by 8. And I'm going to try to wrap this up a few minutes, y'all. First, that's 4 by 9. Looks like I'm going to need a whole new sheet of cardstock for this. So with it being 4 by 9, we're going to cut this 3 3/4. By 8 3/4. And honestly, I've never heard of a big slimline card till today. So that's new for me. Wrong one. And I'll go on like that. And then the next layer will be 3 inches by 8.5 inches. So I'm going to just wrap this up real quick. We're going to do 2 more card blanks. I'm going to describe how to make these. Slimline, of course, 3.5 by 8.5. So I'm going to go ahead and cut 3 1/4 again. Three and a quarter by 8 1/4. And then our next layer would be, of course, 3 inches by 8 inches. Our last one for today is a mini slimline, 3.5 by 6. So one more time, 3 1/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches. And that goes on like so. So, are there any questions, y'all? If not, I'll wrap things up. the pin the post here in the chat is a link to the card calculator app, which is cardcalc.app. It's really a website, not an app. But I think next week we're going to go ahead and talk about basic tools like trimmer, maybe go into the die cutting machine and the tools that we use for those, like the bone fold, like that. So I will wrap it up now, y'all. Please do give this video a thumbs up if you haven't done so yet. Turn on all notifications after you subscribe if you haven't done so yet. And don't forget, I got my own channel, B&D Craft Some More, if you want to subscribe to that as well. Ring the bell for all notifications. And just last night, I put up a katscrappiness video on how to make the most out of your dies, bow dies. So I just had like one bow part, one tail part, and the part strip to go in the middle. I made 2 different bows with just those dies. Made the single bow and the double bow, as I call it. So go ahead and check that out if you haven't done so yet. Y'all, I really appreciate y'all coming to see me today. I'm really happy to do this series with y'all. And I'll have a blessed day, and I'll see y'all again next week. Bye. Oh, what are we doing here? There we go.